Let's begin with a drum set. Listen for an explosive live sound. The snare should be crisp and the cymbals should ring.
I admire you when my living has a limit of desire to keep it going. I'm just knowing that my time with you makes a difference. How I'm feeling when I vibe with you. They can't divide us two. We got a bond like 007, right? Even on Devil's Night, you show me what the heavens like. Go ahead and spread your light, though I can barely see. I know you're there with me, my personal therapy. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary. You inspire me. Look at you crazy when you tell me you admire me. Not an example for anybody to try to be. We'll call you bluff, but I know you wouldn't lie to me. Just a surprise to me. We got a bond tight, no one can come between. I have respect for you, you have your love for me, and that's enough for me. All I need to get by, let me be the method to your Mary J. Blige. So many times I felt defeated. You always know the right thing to say for when I need it. I wanna do the same thing for you to keep it even. You can call me anytime, you don't ever need a reason. I'm right here with you. Never could forget you. All the things that we've been through, everything we went through. Hey, none of it was simple, but I'm right here with you. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. I'm just wishing that I had that too. Some days I wish I was more like you. Your certainty, your attitude. Keep doing what you're doing, I ain't mad at you. Just to know you, I'm glad I do. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary, yeah. I want you to view yourself the way you see me. When you're feeling alone, I'll be a sanctuary.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Erica, what's up? Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is now 8 a.m. on the nose. You listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Lord, they going crazy. Look at them. You're feeling good, aren't you? You're happy. I know it. You're happy. You're motivated. You feel good. You feel energized. You feel like you're ready to do whatever you can to help your fellow man, woman, or child. That's how you feeling. You feel like the kind of person who wants to take life by the horns and change things to the way they need to be. You're not the kind of person who's just going to sit there and be told some ish. No, that's not who we are. Josue Pais, good morning to you, dear friend. Good conversation the other night. Glad to see you. Now, Monica, how you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Good. All right. Monica has the sniffles, y'all. So we're gonna have to. We got some TP in case we need it by the desk. But we are ready to go today. We have news to talk about, but I want to talk about a personal story real quick. I didn't mention this last week, and I was going to. I apologize. So I think I'll tell it right now. There was some graffiti that was tagged on the way back part of my garage, which faces a field. And that was kind of unfortunate. I don't know how long it was there, but I was in the yard with a friend. We were chopping it up, and something just told me to go walk around the side of the house. You know how it is. So I go, and I see this miscellaneous graffiti. And the first thing I thought was how poor. Like, he spelled the F word wrong, whoever this young person was. And I thought, wow, this guy needs help. And it was just real poor. And I was like, oh, man, graffiti. So my friend was like, don't take it personal. Like, it's just right here. Whoever it was just obviously walked right here and just tagged some graffiti. And my neighbors, I've told you guys, I have some great neighbors. I live in a great neighborhood. Predominantly Latino neighborhood, and there's these two neighbors, an older Mexican man and woman. They always walk their little terriers, like not the little joints, not the little yappers, right? So they walk the little yappers, and where they walk, they can see that part of my garage. So it's obvious that they saw it. So one day I was and my neighbors know me. A lot of them thought that I worked for the city for a long time. They would see me in official gear, like Neighbor Project and City of Aurora gear. And they'd be like, oh, you work for the... Okay. They send their kids to ask me questions. My mom wants to know if we can get if you can help her pay her water bill. I'm like, no, need help paying my water bill. But the neighbors, one day I was out there getting my mail, and the older gentleman and his wife were walking their normal walk, and he looked over the street, he kind of whistled, and I looked at him, and then he did, you guys can't see it right now, but he gave me the look, he gave me a thumbs up, and he gave me like the strong black fist of pride, and I was like, I gave it back, obviously. And he kind of gave me this look that didn't say the words, but he gave me this look that was kind of like, we got you. And I didn't know what that meant. Until one day, with a friend, she noticed that graffiti's gone on the back of your garage. I said, what? Yeah, it's not there. Just like that graffiti was removed from my garage. Now, I don't know who did that. I don't even know who put it up there. But I tell you that story, and I want to say thank you to my neighbors. I tell you that story to let everybody know that we're connected in more ways than we really realize. And I want to give shouts out and love to my neighbors, and I hope that all of you guys give love to your neighbors too. I felt really good that happened. The time is now 8:06 a.m. and you're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, second largest city's first daily news podcast. All right, here's the thing. Got information about Arcane County is planning a memorial event for the unfortunate fact that Kane County is about to get close to, or we are close to, 1,000 deaths due to COVID-19. According to Kane County Board Chair Corrine Pirog, that will likely happen before the end of January, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the officials plan to lay a wreath at the Kane County Courthouse on 3rd Street in Geneva during a memorial ceremony after the grim total is reached. As of yesterday, Wednesday, the county has recorded 108,243 cases of coronavirus since the beginning of the pandemic, with 992 people passing away. The county is beginning to see a small decrease in COVID-19 cases after reaching its highest ever infection rate earlier this month. According to the county's Director of Health Protection, statistics presented to the Kane County Board's Public Health Committee show the magnitude of the recent spike in cases. Now listen to this. On November 18th of last year, the county saw 139 cases of COVID-19 per 100,000 tests. But over the last week, stats showed 915 cases per 100,000 tests. Of Kane County residents 5 and older, around 76% have received at least one dose of the vaccine, and 67% are fully vaccinated. Around 43% of the county has received a booster shot, and that's according to US CDC data. While the amount of COVID-19 cases was at its highest point earlier this month, the total number of daily deaths is lower than at the start of the pandemic and during January of last year. Now according to, and I want to get the name correct, Ms. Anwuta, currently, the county is following 14 outbreaks at schools and 53 originating at mass gathering events. Quote, there is a lot of strain on our staff because every outbreak has to be investigated and remains open until we can show 2 incubation periods of no cases, which is usually about 28 days after we have not seen any. She suggested that residents Millville, New Jersey checking in. Shouts out to Millville, New Jersey. Come on. Jersey? Shout out to Millville, New Jersey. Ms. Onwuta suggested residents wear N95 or K95 masks to help slow the spread of COVID-19. So, we have told you this before, but we are not out of the woods yet. Thank you to the Kane County Health Department for all that they do and keeping us safe. That's very disturbing to be ready to celebrate, or not celebrate, but to be ready to acknowledge and have to lay a wreath for 1,000 people passing away due to COVID-19, and that's expected before the end of January. So please, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we tell you on this show all the time, please stay safe, wear your mask, practice social distancing, and get vaccinated. And if it is your time, pursuant to what your doctor tells you, get boosted. The time is 8:09 a.m. Norma Peterson is here. Raquel Orta, Rachel's Decorations. Good morning to you, dear friend. That was a good episode that we did. Well, Monica did that day. And if you missed it, yesterday was another fantastic episode of Buenos Dias, Aurora, the second largest city's first bilingual news podcast. Yay! Our host, Monica, interviewed... Who'd you interview yesterday?
Jose from Las Playeritas.
Las Playeritas, that's right. Jose Pineda. It was a great interview, great episode, and we learned a lot about the young man. Check it out. Okay. Now, tonight, taking place in Plainfield for all you Plainfield residents out there. And we know that there's a lot of Plainfield listeners that we got. Shout out to all y'all back there on the back roads, 95th Street. I see you. Yeah, around the corner over there from Nequa High School. Yeah, what's up? Good morning to you. Clyde, what's good, baby? I'll text you back later on. Anyway, if you are in Plainfield, Mora this evening will be the site of something special. Our friend Norma Peterson, the executive director of Document the Abuse, will be having a debut of her recent episode with a show Dana Called Dana in Naperville, and that's going to be taking place tonight. It'll be an airing. And Monica, if you could you send them in the chat, whatever the location is of Mora and Plainfield, whatever the address is, that'd be great. Yes, please check that out, and check out Document the Abuse and learn about the EAA, which is the Evidentiary Abuse Affidavit. A great tool being used by law enforcement and others in helping to thwart domestic violence. Okay. Bianca Camargo, good morning to you too, dear friend. And Josie Mendoza Geller is here. Good morning to all of you wonderful people. Igualmente para ustedes. What does that mean? Monica. Likewise. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Johnny Felix, good morning to you too as well. All right. So coming off the heels of this news that we just gave you guys, let me see here, about the memorial happening, a drive-through event puts the focus on kids getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Now this happened recently. VNA Healthcare, located here in Aurora, does a whole lot. We want to say thank you very much to our friends of VNA Healthcare. Executive Director Crystal Phillips, friend of the show, Karina Suarez Darden, shouts out to you too as well, and Lyric. All right. I'm going to read briefly from this. The time is now 8:12. Giving young people the opportunity to be vaccinated against COVID-19 was the focus of a recent drive-through clinic outside an Aurora school. This just happened on Tuesday of this week, beginning at 11 a.m., the drive-through clinic at Hope D. Wall School at 449 West Indian Trail Court was designed to focus on kids. All right. Shout out to Angie Smith, Assistant Superintendent for Operations at West Aurora School District 129, who says, quote, "Once we came back from break, like every place else, we've seen some upticks in the infection rate, and we looked at the calendar and realized that we had an opportunity as this was a school improvement day. We wanted to make it a little bit easier for some of our families as it's got a little harder to find places to get shots," close quote. With students being home, school officials knew in many cases that parents would likewise be home with them, making Tuesday's clinic and the drive-through format easier for everyone. Booster doses of the Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer vaccines are also available at the event. Officials on site, including Priscilla Carney of VNA Health, said there were only 200 vaccines available Tuesday and that the clinic would be closed long before the 4-hour period that was scheduled. According to West Aurora School District Executive Director for Student and Family Services, Marty Nearing, the drive-up line was actually closed even before 11 a.m. because the vaccines, we've exceeded what they brought, which is a fantastic thing. All right. So good stuff taking place. Also, real quick, here's something that's coming up next week on Thursday, the 27th. There's going to be another vaccine clinic hosted by the city of Aurora. Kane County Board Member Ron Ford Sr., Alderman Ed Bugg, Alderwoman Shakita Hart Burns, Alderwoman Wani Garza, and State Representative of the 84th District, Stephanie Kifowit. This is going to take place at two churches. The first will be Community Christian Church, and the other will be Maine Baptist Church. We have details on that. We've posted them to our Facebook page as well, and our Instagram and our Twitter. So please check them out. If you or someone you know has yet to be vaccinated, if you have questions, VNA will be on site delivering the vaccines and information, and our Friends of the Neighbor Project will be there with housing resources as well. The time is now 8:15 a.m. You are listening to Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Monica, if you'd be so kind, can you take us to a commercial and give us 3 joints? Give us, please.
Cool beans. All right. Good morning, everyone. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. February 11th, there will be a live salsa dancing taking place at Java Plus. A great band called Impacto Boricua will be playing. There will be a special menu and the fun begins at 6:30 p.m. Java Plus is located at 1677 Montgomery Road. Have a great date night and let them know you heard about it on Good Morning Aurora.
Oh, spicy.
Our friends of YWCA Metropolitan Chicago are now enrolling for early learning programs for adults and children. Year-round, full and half-day programs with meals are available for children from birth to 5 years old. For parents, child care assistance, computer training, and career service are available as well. These are programs designed to help. The flyers are in English and Spanish and will be shared on our social media platforms. For more information, you can contact any of the centers located on the flyers and let them know you heard about it. Where? On Good Morning Aurora.
Oh!
Shop local and show your love for small businesses during Aurora Downtown's Love Local Days from February 1st through February 14th. Find specials and enter raffles at participating businesses. Also, Art and Market Aurora brings more than a dozen local makers to a one-of-a-kind indoor market for 6 winter and spring dates. Visit the curated market from 9 a.m. to noon at Society 57, located at 100 South River Street, on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays from February 12th through the end of April. Shop, market vendors, and local artisans. Free to enter and open to the public. For more information, you can visit the website for Aurora Downtown, and I'll be sharing that link in our chats.
Absolutely wonderful. But real quick, one more thing: is there a piece of news in there in regards to the Youth Voices Forum?
Youth Voices. Yes.
Could you read that one as well, please? One more, Joy. One more.
All right. The 2022 Youth Voices Forum on Mental Health will be held virtually on Wednesday, February 23rd from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The Youth Voices Forum creates a space for young people to have their voices heard as they share their thoughts, experiences, and insights related to mental health. This year's forum will feature student speakers, small group breakout sessions, and a large group session where students can report out. And
Right.
this is February 23rd.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, Maria Chirito, Bianca Camargo. Look at all these names. Look, Karina Suarez Dart, Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre. Hey, y'all. Okay. So the address to Mora Asian Fusion is 24108 Lockport Street in Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. That is the place to be. It begins this evening at 7 p.m. You heard about it here on Good Morning Aurora. Monica put the links to the relevant articles and registration that you need based on the news that she just gave you. She also gave you the link to our YouTube channel. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. That helps us to grow, and we on Good Morning Aurora appreciate it oh so very much. Click the link, hit the subscribe button, and you can see all of our dope interviews. All of the people, rappers, policemen, senators, congressmen, judges, politicians, authors, cancer survivors. Where else? Where else? Okay, listen, there was bad news last night. Joe Biden, well, the administration will say, bit the dust. It's really the most pertinent issue right now. And in regards to taking the L, Joe Biden did that. Senate Democrats failed to advance voting rights legislation and changes to the filibuster last night. Democrats came up short on a last-ditch effort to advance a voting rights bill and ending, for now, their push to beat back a myriad of GOP-sponsored state laws that civil rights advocates say would suppress turnout by minority voters. The vote early Wednesday night to end debate on the bill was shot down 51-49, with every Republican voting against moving the bill to the Senate floor for a final vote. Democrats needed 60 votes to overcome a legislative procedure known as the filibuster, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York changed his vote to nay at the end so he can bring the legislation up again at a later date if he wishes. Hours later, a separate vote to change the filibuster rules for the voting rights bill so it could pass with a simple majority of 51 votes also failed. Now, let's look a little deeper. The bill combined the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act to the Freedom to Vote Act. The John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, named for the late Georgia Democratic representative and civil rights icon, would restore Justice Department review of changes in election law in states with a history of discrimination. Did you hear that? DJ, could you scratch it so we can hit him one more time with that? Run it back. Let's read that again. The John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act would restore Justice Department review of changes in election law in states with a history of discrimination. Now, who would who would want to stop such a thing from happening? Well, members of the GOP, it seems. The Freedom to Vote Act would create a federal standard for voting by mail-in drop boxes, means of voting that have been attacked during the recent 2020 election. The legislation would also expand early voting options and access to mail-in ballots, curb large anonymous political contributions known as dark money, and allow for same-day voter registration on election day. Now, who would be against such a thing? Republicans. Blocked from bringing the bill to the floor for a vote on passage, Democratic leaders then put forth a vote to change the filibuster to advance the bill. Most senators and President Joe Biden threw the support behind the rule change. Now, I bring that up. That's a national story, but it has local implications. What are those local implications, you ask? Well, boy, am I glad you asked. Here's the thing. If you don't vote, or if you don't exercise your right to petition, your right to ask these questions, the changes that happen in everyday society and the ability to get things done on a local level are far closer to you and more pertinent to you than the presidential election. What do I mean by that? I mean that your state representatives, your county board members, school board members, all of these things in your local atmosphere directly affect your quality of life every single day. The ability to vote being taken away at a national level, you read it and you think that's horrible. But are you exercising your right to vote at a local level? A lot of times when you watch the city council meetings, you guys heard me say, if you listen to this show, you know that Curtis has been talking about city councils for the first person on earth to talk about it was me or us. Listen, people call into the city council meetings, they write the alderman and they make complaints and they say this and they say that and they type in all caps and they use offensive language and they say, "Bah!" And these same people, when you ask them, have you voted? They tell you things like, why? Why should I? Did you vote for Kane County? No. Well, your complaint means less on the City of Aurora's Facebook page than that consternation being turned into a vote or action. Believe that, ladies and gentlemen, believe that. So I say all that to simply let you know that your voice is better served in action than inaction. The time is now 8:26 a.m. Josie Mendoza Geller says she'll be there to support her friend. What friend is that, Josie? Oh, we know what friend. And where is that? Oh, we know where. Mora Asian Fusion in Plainfield on Lockport Street. What they got? Because there's a Lockport right next to Plainfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to name a street for our whole town in another city.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, word up, word up. So yeah, go there tonight. They got good food there. Okay, let's see here. Jennifer Ryan Mayton, what is up, dear friend? Michelle Gums. That's right, Michelle. DJ, if you would. Here's the thing. Michelle Gums says, good morning, everyone. Please pray for APD today. Lost another officer to COVID. Another officer besides Brian Shields? Michelle, if you'd be so kind, put the officer's name in the chat if you know it or are comfortable with doing that. Yesterday, that would have been Tuesday. Tuesday on Good Morning Aurora, we had a moment of silence for Officer Brian Shields, Aurora police officer. He was a journalist and a news reporter before becoming a police officer. How about that? All right, Ken Thurman, thank you very much. Ken Thurman is the name of the officer just passed. And as a matter of fact, Victoria Halamaldonado, good morning to you, dear friend. Good morning, Aurora will observe a moment of silence for Officer Ken Thurman. Time is now 8:27 a.m. Stephanie Stevie Fox Cleary, good morning to you, dear friend. Anna Sierra, the owner and proprietor of Anna's Custom Treats, a dear friend of the show, is here today with us. Good morning, Aurora. Casildo Casey Cuevas, what's up, baby? Good morning, Aurora. Thanks, Republicans, for sending the U.S. back years to allow discrimination for voters. I was saying the same thing when I was reading that this morning. Tracy Duran is here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Tracy Duran and me got mad mutual friends. Mm-hmm. I met like 5 people that I didn't know before who keep telling me about Tracy Duran. You know Tracy Duran? Like, yeah, how do you?
Way back.
Right, yeah. Right, word up. Like, yeah, I know Tracy. Yeah, come on. Do I know Tracy? But yeah, so shouts out to you, Tracy Duran. Okay, Maria Torito, we said hi to you too. All right, National DJ Day is today, and Jennifer Ryan Mayton let us know that. Who's your favorite DJ? If you have a favorite DJ, put that DJ's name in the chat. Yeah. Oh,
of course,
snap,
me.
what? DJ Monica. Oh, DJ Vasquez. Ooh,
Hey.
that's dope. DJ Vasquez, all right. Okay, so moving right along. You can bring us back on El Camera. Moving right along. 2 pieces of information that are directly important to you great folks in Aurora. The time is now 8:29 a.m. 2 pieces of important news right here. Told you guys about this on Monday. Gloria Aguirre, good morning to you. Oh, that's right. Gloria Penaloza. Gloria and Alondra Penaloza. Good morning to both of you ladies. Gloria and Alondra Penaloza are the sisters and sisters and proprietors of Sisters Party Decor, a great local business here in the city of Aurora. Buenos Dias, Aurora was there for their grand opening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Awesome. It
was a ribbon cutting, but you know what happened? They didn't have scissors. So you know what they did? They blew up balloons and then they popped them with pins.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, right? You got to do what you got to do. Okay. The city of Aurora stands to get $1.2 million. Scratch down. Sip it up. All y'all at home. Everybody, sip it up in there. You don't got nothing else, do you? Word. Okay. Let's take that from the top. Aurora is getting $1.2 million from the state to aid businesses. Now, this is for cities that have been affected by the unrest of 2020, which seems so long ago. We spoke about this with our friend Kevin Trudeau. Aurora is getting $1.2 million from the state to address improvements and repairs in the area of the city affected by the civil unrest. The grant was announced recently by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, the ILDCEO, Il Deseo. I made that up. As well as State Senator Linda Holmes. We interviewed her too. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good
That
one.
was a really good one. Assistant Illinois Senate Majority Leader. The money is coming from the Rebuild Distressed Communities Program, which was part of the $45 billion Rebuild Economic Capital Program passed in 2019. Excuse me. The ILDCEO announced $8.4 million in additional grants statewide for small businesses and commercial corridors located around the state to help rebuild and revitalize in the wake of the 2020 unrest following the death of George Floyd at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer. The final round of Rebuild Distressed Communities provides $976,000 to 26 small businesses and $7.45 million to help revitalize 7 commercial corridors located around the state. All right. Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton called the Rebuild Distressed Communities Program, quote, another way for our state to recover, heal, and grow together. Our administration is committed to economic development that uplifts all of us, and putting our state's small businesses and vulnerable communities at the forefront through this funding is how we expand equity and opportunity across Illinois. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Projects for corridor improvements will repair and improve the surrounding area while increasing economic opportunities for impacted businesses. The projects were evaluated based on project need, capacity, quality, and societal impact. To qualify for funds, project proposals were required to show the project would occur within the same block that experienced property damage or on contiguous. The word of the day is contiguous. Contiguous blocks if required for project continuity. All right. So, according to Aurora Chief of Police Keith Cross, 85 businesses and organizations throughout the city of Aurora were the victim of burglaries, criminal damage, and arson. We're not gonna make it to the mountaintop by cannibalizing each other, ladies and gentlemen. The word of the day is contiguous, and Monica got you covered with that. The time is now 8:33 a.m. And then, Monica, if you could, please, would you hit us with a few more joints? When you gave him the definition already? Damn, that was quick.
Copying, pasting.
Oh, Lordy. The number one news show, baby. That's what you learn together. Thank you.
All right. Monday, the 24th of January from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., State Representative Barbara Hernandez will hold the first virtual social justice meeting of 2022. This will take place from 5 to 6, and registration is required. The guest organization will be Illinois Aging Together, a statewide movement for aging equity. And I'll be sharing the registration link to our chat.
Uh-oh.
The Aurora African American Health Coalition has community health workers to help and partner with you. Health resources, arranging transportation, and being your advocate are just a few of these areas they can help you with. They are here to help residents in Kane and DuPage County thrive. You can email them at aurorahealthcoalition@gmail.com or give them a call at 331-385-0710. Let's see. The Aurora Area Interfaith Food Pantry has a number of great events coming up. Yesterday they had a pet pantry. The next will be Wednesday, the 16th of February from 10 a.m. to noon. And then tomorrow is the Women's Empowerment Mobile Pantry, which I'm not sure if it's...
That's today.
Today?
Yeah, that's today.
So today they have the Women's Empowerment Mobile Pantry. This will take place from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at 101 South River Street. And then on February 5th is the Kids Pop-Up Pantry from 10 a.m. to noon, taking place at Georgetown Elementary School. located at 995 Long Grove Drive. And on that same day, February 5th, the Administer Justice Legal Clinic will be taking place at the food pantry from 9 a.m. to noon. And then I could keep going with more dates that the Aurora Area Interfaith Food Pantry has, but then it would be very overwhelming. So let's just leave it to February 5th.
Right.
They have the Kids Pop-Up Pantry and the Administer Justice Legal Clinic.
Nice. All right. Thank you very much, Monica. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, clap for Monica if you could, please. Hit the claps for Monica. All right. Word, vote all the way down the ballot. Those are the words from our dear friend Michelle Gums. Ken Thurman, rest in peace. Good morning to Cruz Ocho. Cruz Ocho is a friend of the show. He recently dropped a new album called 94 Tape. Very good stuff. A couple of songs that are on that album you hear on the intro for Good Morning Aurora. Besides Cruz Ocho, we also have a young man by the name of Lovem, who also features some of his music on our show in the morning too. Both of these great artists can be found on Instagram, Spotify, and anywhere that you stream music from.
Yes.
Shout out. All right. The time is 8:37 a.m. Damn, they got the chat lit from my... What? Cheryl Brownell, good morning. Yes. Yes. All y'all, you did it. All right, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move right along. Get back into what we got to talk about. So, 3.5... I just told you about Aurora's getting $1.2 million in grants to aid businesses. Listen to this. Aurora considers contributing $3.5 million in federal funds to aid affordable housing in Aurora. Now, this is not a new story. We broke this to you. We did it twice, actually. We spoke about it. Well, I highlighted it in our interview that we had with Rachel Ventura. It was also the feature of a Jeanette Splaining in November. Now, this seems to have made another circle here in the city. But let's read it together. Aurora is looking at contributing about $3.5 million in federal funds toward a project to remodel 2 former Aurora schools into affordable rental housing units. Aldermen on the city's finance committee recently recommended a plan to use both the city's home investment partnerships allocation and community development block grant funds to put toward the plan. The money would go toward developing a total of 47 apartment units in the Fox Valley Apartments, a partnership that includes Oak Brook. Wait a minute. I think they spelled Oak Brook wrong. Because it says Oak Brook based. So I think they spelled Oak Brook wrong. Is there a city named Oak Brook?
Curtis.
What? There is?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. What? What'd I do? What happened?
Just overreacting over that misspelled word.
Yeah, because it threw it out like, you know. Yeah, well, let's keep going. A partnership that includes Oak Brook based Visionary Ventures NFP Corporation. Excuse me. A company that develops in underserved and low-income communities nationwide. Developers have stressed that the housing is for working people who must pass background checks and income eligibility requirements as authorized by IHDA, the Illinois Housing Development Authority. The state group has made available to the developers low-income housing tax credits to fund the bulk of the project. The units will be remodeled at Lincoln School, 641 South Lake Street, and a new building to be built next door to 631 South Lake Street, as well as in Todd School, 100 Oak Avenue. Todd School, as you know, is right across the street from a great restaurant called... Anybody know? Does anybody know? Tracy Duran knows. I'm going to just let that marinate. Okay. Finance Committee members recommended amending the city home allocation by $2.9 million and the block grant allocation by $600,000 to put the total $3.5 million towards the project. Aurora Economic Development Director, Mr. Dave Debo, shout out to Dave, what up? Said the purpose for the money in both federal programs fits the affordable housing project. The city of Aurora owns both school buildings after the West Aurora School District arranged for the city to take them over. Lincoln School was closed as a school in 2009. Todd School closed as a school a while back, but was used by West Aurora for classroom purposes until 2019. Lincoln School opened in 1891, holy cow, as South Lake Street School. It was remodeled in the late 1920s with a gym, auditorium, and more classrooms. It was renamed Abraham Lincoln School at this point. Interesting. Now, it goes on. The work at Lincoln School will include 37 of the units, both remodeled into the old school building and put in a new building Visionary Ventures intends to build next door. There will only be 10 units at Todd School, but the furthest north section of the building will include a medical clinic, primary medical service, mental health screenings, and health education program run by VNA Health of Aurora for West Aurora School District students and their families. Well, how about that? You see that? Now you see that? We just told you about it. We just told you some good things. VNA Healthcare all over the place. Mm-hmm. Word up. Word up. Okay, Visionary Ventures said the apartment units will be a mix of studio and 1 and 2 3-bedroom units for tenants at 30 to 60% of the area's median income. That means the units are for people making between $18,000 up to $63,000 a year, depending on family size. Tenants would pay for electricity for lights, cooking, and air conditioning, and the landlord would pay for heat, water, sewer, and garbage pickup. But wait a minute. The landlord? Wait a minute. Hold on. The landlord? Who's the landlord?
VNA?
Right.
Just kidding.
The landlord, because I can read. It says that the purpose of the city of Aurora? Why wouldn't they just say city of Aurora instead of landlord? Maybe there's more to come with that. But yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, I digress. Okay. I digressed to the wrong page. Okay, there we go. While aldermen have looked favorably upon this project, aldermen approved the development plans for it last October. They did discuss what kind of housing officials should be approving in the future. According to friend of the show, Alderman Carl Franco of the 5th Ward, the chairman of the Finance Committee, the city needs to approve diverse types of housing. Going forward, we need to balance different types of housing. City staff members point out that most of what the city has been approving the several past years is market rate housing. Okay. So what do you guys think about affordable housing coming to Aurora? Monica, what do you think?
Wait, so in that same building, they're going to offer those other services?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yep. 43 units in one building, 10 units in another one. But the reason why it's 10 is because of those services.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's
pretty
a
good.
Step moving forward, yeah.
On site. On-site stuff. All right. So let's see here. I hope you all have a wonderful day today. Be safe. Love you all. Lots of work to be done. Michelle has to go to a meeting because Michelle is super busy like that. Oh, Vanessa Rodriguez. Hit the clap for Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre. She's right. No, Gloria Aguirre. It's not Rulins. Rulins is right up the block a little bit. Gloria Aguirre. What up? But no, it's Don Walker's. Don Walker's is the place that's right across the street from Todd School. Damn, Vanessa Rodriguez Aguirre was quick with that. Okay, Casildo, thank you very much. Ordered mine. 4 home COVID-19 test kits. Yes, that's the new thing. COVID-19 tests have been approved to be ordered for home. Very good. All right, next piece of news. Actually, both are. Yeah, it's true, they are. But, you know, directly across the street is Don Walker's. Donna Tucci is here. Good morning to you, Donna. All right. Told you guys about this on Monday, but this is very, very important news, and it's going to keep being important news until we are out of this pandemic, and as the rest of this year develops, I hope that this does not become an issue, but the city of Aurora is not planning a COVID-19 vaccine mandate, but some city businesses are already setting their own guidelines. At French 75, a fantastic place. I almost said restaurant. It's not just a restaurant. It's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it with a low tide. Okay. At French 75, owner Hope Ashworth said she debated what to do when the businesses opened 4 months ago and said she was too influenced after some of her staff members got sick. You have to show proof of vaccination for French 75. Also, our friends of the Paramount Theater, the Venue, and Stope Island Social, all checking for proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. Kane County has no such vaccine mandate. City of Aurora is not going to be, well, at the moment, let me start that back over. City of Aurora does not have a vaccine mandate at the moment, and according to Aurora City spokesman Clayton Muhammad, he said a COVID-19 vaccination mandate for certain businesses such as restaurants and bars has not been proposed for a discussion or a vote by the city council, period. Now, here is the other aspect of this, and I want to read this to you about our friends down the river in St. Charles. Valeria is here. Good morning to you, Valeria. Wait a minute. Casildo says, when was the last mass vax in Aurora? You know what, Casildo? The last mass vaccination in Aurora was in, I believe it was the last week of November into the first week of December. And that was the last one because the next piece of pertinent information that came was that the Kane County mass vaccination site in Batavia is going to stay open until May. But that's why we haven't had any mass vaccination events, sites here in Aurora. The Lake Street location, the old Carson Perry Scott, 900 North Lake Street, closed down as a vaccination site when Kane County Hub in Batavia was approved to be open until May. But that's the last one that I remember, sir. Okay, in the city of St. Charles, aldermen made a firm stand recently against customers at businesses in the city having to show proof of vaccination, with Mayor Laura Vitek saying she is, quote, adamantly against, close quote, such a requirement. City Administrator Heath McGuire said that her office received more than 200 messages in opposition to such a measure, with only 2 in support of the idea. Now, this is St. Charles. The discussion in St. Charles came as Chicago and suburban Cook County started requiring proof of vaccination for those entering restaurants, bars, gyms, movie theaters, concert venues, and sports arenas in early January. Now, here's what I want from all of you great listeners. And I want your opinion as well, Monica. Should there be vaccinations for theaters and bars and restaurants and all that? What do you think? Should the city of Aurora go the way of Chicago? What do you think?
I think a lot of people are against it, but I think that we should be safe. That we should be safe.
Okay.
And I mean, essentially, we should all be vaccinated either way to keep us safe with everyone else around us if we want to go out. And I mean, we were really sad and, depressed when we were in lockdown, and now we're getting the opportunity to be social,
right,
being vaccinated. So I don't think why there is a huge issue of why showing a vaccination card is such a big issue,
Right.
So because we're having the opportunity of continuing to be social,
right?
So, and that's what we wanted,
right? Because it's literally like an either or.
Mm-hmm.
We can be social with some restriction, or some responsibility, or be on lockdown. Maybe it's not that stark of a choice. It's not that stark of a choice yet, but that is pretty much how it's shaping up. Yeah. Yep. All right, you can if you want. Yeah. Okay. All right. And they agree with Monica. Josue says, yes, Monica. I agree with Monica. Oh, snap, DJ. Yes. Thanks. Word up. Drops the mic. All right. And Gloria Gerardo, good morning to you as well, dear friend. The time is, what time is it? 8:51. Yikes. Good Lord. Okay, I have one more thing here, ladies and gentlemen. One more thing here. Tell you guys about. Make sure I got my ducks in a row. Aha! 2 things. Circuit Court Judge Bianca Camargo is having a great and fantastic meet and greet once again at Mike and Denise's Pizzeria, 1760 North Farnsworth Avenue. Enjoy delicious pizza, and it is good. You heard it here on Good Morning. Let me tell you something. If you want good pizza in Aurora, Mike and Denise's. You heard it here. Trust me, it's really good. Enjoy delicious pizza. Meet your local Aurora Circuit Judge and sign her candidate petition. Monday, January 31st, 5 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Special guests will be Illinois Senator Karina Villa and Kane County Circuit Court Judge Renee Cruz, a friend of the show. Do you want to volunteer for the campaign? To do so, you can give a call to... Well, there's no number. But you can go to www.judgebiancacamargo.com. All right, there's that. And then also January 22nd, petition drive going on for Congressman Bill Foster, State Representative Maura Hishauer, and State Senator Karina Villa. That's taking place at Painters Council District number 30, 1905 Sequoia Drive, Suite 201, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They have great snacks. For more information, you can contact Beth at 630-450-8354. That number again is 630-450-8354. Tell them you heard about it here on Good Morning Aurora. All volunteers will receive $15 an hour. Okay. And then final piece of news. Well, not final, but hold on. There's a hot chocolate bash taking place at Java Plus, 1677 Montgomery Road, January 30th and the 31st. So that's coming up really soon here. Hot chocolate, get your sip on. Put the marshmallows in it. Make sure it's frothy. Ooh, and then you sip it. It's really good. All right, now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Aurora Mayor Richard Urban is running for governor. We know that, but here it is. All right, check this out. Mayor Lori Lightfoot of Chicago came up with a proposal that attorneys are calling demeaning. She called it the Victims' Justice Ordinance. What it does is it aims to allow the fining of gang members and gives the police the authority to seize their property. Okay? The ordinance was expected and has to prompt legal challenges from civil rights attorneys and social justice organizations who believe the measure could wrongly accuse Black and Latino residents of being involved in gang activity. Now, DJ, would you hit that real quick? Because we heard this before. We heard it before. Remember all the people who've been petitioning to have their names removed from the gang database, who had no crimes or history as gang members? Remember that? Oh, you live on Colmar, so we're just going to put you in the database. You live on Trask, so we're going to put you in the database. You live on Hinman. That's your street, right? Well, no, that's not right. But the unfairness of that and the fact that it has been tainted is what has prompted the outrage. So, in a letter by attorneys, the letter says that the proposed law will cause the city, quote, costly litigation and perpetuate racial disparities in law enforcement practices and will not reduce harm and violence. Lightfoot and her office have faced criticism from former high-ranking staff, Susan Lee, a top advisor to Lightfoot and former deputy mayor for public safety, resigned in August of last year while raising concerns about the city's ability to, quote, keep moving the ball forward on its violence prevention efforts and the police department's consent decree implementation. Now, this ordinance, if approved, could allow judges or court officers to impose fines as high as $10,000 for each offense and seize, quote, any property that is directly or indirectly used or intended to use in any manner to facilitate street gang-related activity. It also calls for the seizure of any property that has been used in a crime by what Lori Lightfoot determines or calls blood money. Asked about criticism of the plan, Mayor Lightfoot said that her administration needs to do more to educate the public about the ordinance. Fining people to eliminate crime. What do you think about that?
Wait, say that again?
Fining people to eliminate crime. Monica, you did a crime. You know what we're going to do? We're going to fine you $10,000.
To remove it from my record?
On top of it, no, so you'll stop your criminal activity.
Oh, to stop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not right.
That's not right. It isn't.
That's not ethical.
It is. So civil rights attorneys, many of them have spoken up about this. I'm glad that they have, because this is just the kind of thing that doesn't help anybody. The letter also cites a study from the Lucy Parson Lab of Chicago, which looked at all asset forfeiture by Chicago Police Department from 2009 and 2015. Now listen to this. It found that the department focused on asset forfeiture on the south and west sides of Chicago, targeting black and poor residents. In addition, the letter also says that there is little oversight over how the Chicago Police Department uses the money collected from asset forfeiture. So the ordinance could create incentives for officers to label people as gang members and take their property because the department would benefit from the forfeitures. The time is now 8:58 a.m. And I hope that you guys all think about that. I really do. I really do. We just talked about a mandate that could benefit the city, but we also just talked about something that the mayor of Chicago is doing, which will have no benefit on the city at all. And I think that, maybe speaking for myself here, I really want my leaders and my officials to do anything necessary to make life better for people, but also keep it safe and keep people accountable. I want that. That's what I want. I want that healthy balance as much as humanly possible. 8:59 a.m. is the time. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, the number one morning show in the history of human behavior. Monica.
Yes.
What is your message to... Oh, wait, hold on a second. I just saw something nice. Listen to this. I'll never regret the love I gave anyone, even if it wasn't reciprocated. Love always comes back full circle. That love is coming back to me in some shape or form. Keep putting love into the universe because it's coming back with interest. Hey, that's a dope Facebook status.
That is the word of the day. Or the
what? The energy.
The energy.
The energy of the day? Yes. Word up. I like that. Is that you're gonna settle with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Peace, love, happiness, everyone.
Peace, love, happiness. All right. All of you guys, we hope that you enjoyed this wonderful and fantastic show this morning. Shouts out to all of our friends, fans, listeners, supporters, advocates of the show. We really appreciate you guys very much. I want to say thank you right now to Kane County Sheriff's Deputy Brian Demeter. And I want to say thank you very much for all of his support, being a good brother with us on the show here. And what Monica said. Peace, love, happiness, all that. Take care of yourself and
Each other.